Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel today. Today I want to talk about some of the different blades that are used on spinner baits. And then another idea to do with some extra ones. So starting off, let me move over here. I've got a couple of examples of some spinner baits that I've used. This one here has a couple of willow blades on it. This one's got a single, like an Indiana style blade on it, and this one's got a single Colorado style. And if you fish spinner baits, and a lot of you probably have, they come in a lot of variety of shapes and sizes. There's different weights. There's different colors you can get, whether it be the gold color or maybe like a chrome plated color, or they even make a copper color. And then some blades are even painted as well. So if you want to get a painted color, you can do that. And I like to switch them around for different types of fishing. But what's happened is I've ended up with a box of just miscellaneous blades of various shapes and sizes here. Here's an example of a few of the ones that I have. And they've been just sitting in the tackle box waiting for me to do something with them, either to put them back on a spinner bait or kind of come up with a new idea. So I got to thinking about it the other day, and I decided, why not convert those into their own fishing lures? So what I did was I took the hole in the front and I just added a split ring to the front of a couple of willow blades I had, one in chrome and one in gold. And then on the back I added another split ring and then a treble hook. So now I've got kind of like a mini spoon style lure that I can try fishing in a couple different colors, the gold or the chrome. And then I got to thinking, well, what else could I maybe do with these type of lures or these, type of blades as well? So I got to thinking, okay, if I want something with, let's say, a little more mass on it or a little more weight added to it, so it's easier to cast them out because they are fairly light still. What could I do? So then I got to thinking, okay, how about if I do this? I add a split ring to the back of the, once I create a hole in the back, then a swivel, then another split ring, and then I could add something along like the jig head behind it. And then that would allow you to put a single hook setup behind the blade. So let me just kind of slide these over here and I'll kind of example. So if I took a blade, whether it be like an Indiana style blade or that, and then just punched a hole at the back here and at the back here, and then added the hardware, I could also follow that up with a jig head, and you could actually put whatever weight jig head you feel would be appropriate for the type of fishing you're going to do. And then on there, then you're pretty much unlimited to whatever type of soft plastic you want to use to make it work. So that gives you another option for using these. And as far as like poking a hole at the back, what I found to be pretty effective is if you take just a basic drywall screw, which has it's a hardened screw with a very sharp point on the end, and a small hammer, you can usually just tap and poke a hole right in the back of the blades. And that's kind of what I ended up doing on the back of these. They came with a pre-punched hole in the front where they attach to the spinner bait, and at the back I just had to kind of use that nail to poke a hole. Or if you have like an awl, a good small awl or a pointed chisel would work too. You could just drive a hole through, and that allows you to hook up the split rings in the back. But by doing this, it gives you an option to give these new life and actually kind of make your own kind of custom lures. And really, creativity is what's a good part of the fun of fishing. Coming up with something that maybe didn't exist. And like for example, if you took like this Indiana style blade here, you could actually mount it so that the larger part is at the back, or you could spin it around, make it look like a fish with a tapered profile, so like a small chub or something in the creek, and then you could mount it that way. And the same thing applies with like a willow blade. You could actually run it this way, or you could run it this way. So you have quite a few options available once you start playing around with customizing your leftover spare parts. And it's basically just a matter of having some fun and trying it out. And that's usually the way that a lot of guys discover things that really work well, in their bodies of water that they're fishing. So as always, thanks again for watching, and be creative with your fishing lures. It's a lot of fun to play around them, and you may stumble upon something that really works well for your fishing and helps you catch a lot more fish. Kind of the key is throwing things that the fish aren't seeing on a regular basis can sometimes produce a bite when nothing else will. And as always, thanks again for watching. Get out on the water when you can, because it is beautiful right now in Kentucky, and I'm sure other parts of the country are warming up as well. So we'll see you next time. Bye.